A buoyant England arrive in France after that vital World Cup win in Poland for Le Tournoi. Once branded an inconvenience, now a chance for Glenn Hoddle to test the progress of his team against three of the best sides in the world. Teddy Sheringham will spearhead England's strike force, but will he join Alan Shearer at Newcastle next season?
I just came to the decision towards the end of the season that I'd like a fresh challenge, and I put in the transfer request on Monday morning just after the Poland game. I felt that was the right time to be doing that, and hopefully it would be granted.
And the action starts with the only teams guaranteed a World Cup appearance next year. World champions Brazil take on the host France at the Guerlain Stadium in Lyon. Hello and welcome to the Tournoi de France, which reminds us that we are just 12 months away from that main event, the 16th World Cup Finals. John Barnes is with us as ITV Sport brings you the first of 6 games over the next 9 days. Tonight the hosts take on Brazil, then tomorrow it's England versus their main World Cup qualifying rivals Italy. On Saturday France then meet England with Brazil-Italy Sunday evening, and the mini-tournament concludes with England versus Brazil a week tonight and France versus Italy in the last game a week tomorrow. And that England-Italy game tomorrow evening takes on even greater interest, bearing in mind the two countries' decisive World Cup qualifier in October in Rome, and following England's impressive victory in Poland at the weekend. Gary Newbon is our man with the England camp as Glenn Hoddle and his men settle in to their French headquarters.
From World Cup victory in Poland to a glamorous tournament in France, all in a summer's work for England's footballers. And after the grim coalfields of Silesia, La Baule on the beautiful Brittany coast must have come as a welcome sight to Glenn Hoddle's squad. But Hoddle has already laid down the law. This is a World Cup rehearsal, not an opportunity for nightclubbing and dentist chairs.
We've put them in a nice environment, one that you would hope we would be in or there or thereabouts next year if we're here. The games are a bit more glamorous in many ways, you know. Again, it's about finding out the players' temperaments, if they can deal with them things. So we're looking forward to it.
After the excellent result in Poland, Hoddle is amazed at those who still question the wisdom of England's presence alongside Brazil, Italy and the host nation in this Tournoi de France.
There's 12 months till the World Cup. Now, I think the English mentality sometimes is wrong. If we're saying that, you know, what on earth are we doing in this tournament when, you know, if we weren't here, the question marks that would be aimed at the FA, you know, reverse the roles. They'd be saying, well, what a great opportunity. Why are you not there? Why are Germany, Italy and France and Brazil playing it and we're not? So you look at it the other way around, you know, and as we say, we've got to prepare for the World Cup, hopefully, if we qualify. This is great experience for the players and myself and everybody involved.
Whether it's Poland or France and whatever the competition, the inevitable question stalks Hoddle. What about Paul Gascoigne?
He's picked up a nasty injury again, but in many ways, similar to after the South Africa game, we're quite pleased that he's done some running today. He's been able to get out and do a bit of running, and it's one of them injuries that's not mechanical. It's a very nasty bruise and a cut from behind the knee that goes right up the thigh, and really the more work he can, more running he can do, the better he'll be. The problem is if he gets another whack on it, that could finish him for this tournament. So we've got to be a bit conservative with him, and we'll assess him in the morning.
But he obviously still figures in your plans at the moment.
He wouldn't be here, Gary, if he didn't figure in the plans, yeah.
Well, it really was a fantastic result for England in Poland, 2-0, John, but was the performance that wonderful?
Well, the performance wasn't that wonderful, but the most important thing was the result. You know, it was a good professional performance because in the second half particularly, they weren't very adventurous in terms of going forward, but I thought they coped well with it. They looked comfortable. Poland didn't really threaten them at all, and as long as you have players like Sheringham and Shearer, it really doesn't matter about the performance because, you know, you can always nick a goal.
And the qualifying chances look so much better when you look at Group 2 now.
Definitely. I mean, after that result against Italy, it was all doom and gloom. But England are still in with a chance, you know. Don't write us off for getting a good result in Italy, but even a draw there will do us.
Yeah. They could even qualify, John, couldn't they, as the best of the runners-up? That also is looking hugely impressive at this moment.
Yeah, because they've got 3 points on although Belgium do have a game in hand. I think Belgium is in a more difficult group. I think the crucial game is Moldova at home. Get a good result there and we're virtually there.
Just remind people that it is that top side that will go through automatically and the others will then play off, yes?
Yeah, and England really, even if they do come second, should finish top.
Yeah. Now, Le Tournoi, we heard Glenn talking there, usefulness or otherwise, as you would say it.
Definitely useful. I mean, we're talking about being after the European Championships, we're talking about being one of the best teams in Europe, consequently one of the best teams in the world. And with Italy, France and Brazil there, we have to be there with them.
I was about to say, the opponents, you could hardly get it. I guess Germany, if you added it to it, but otherwise, wonderful lineup.
And as Glenn rightly said, I mean, if Germany were there, people would be wondering why aren't England there? You know, we have to put ourselves up there to be shot at, and we're not afraid of going in against the best.
So how do you see the prospects against these three giants?
Well, we are giants as well. Let's not forget that. And I think that we'll...
You really think that, John?
I think so. I think so, because I think with the organisation that Glenn has now instilled into the squad, and with Sharon Sheringham capable of nicking a goal and getting a good result, they look very sound at the back. I think England could do very well in this tournament. OK, thank you. Tonight's opening game then. France versus Brazil. Ron Atkinson and Clive Tilsley, our commentators in Lyon.
They will settle for this on July the 12th next year. Brazil versus France would be most Frenchmen's idea of the dream World Cup final. Their team has been freshened up since a modest showing at Euro 96, flanking a familiar midfield are the two rising stars of the French game. On the right, Ibrahim Ba, who's heading for Milan next season. On the left, Robert Pires, who's staying home at Metz despite overtures from England. The two Premiership representatives in the squad, Frank Leboeuf and Patrick Vieira, start the night on the bench. There was a strong Premiership contingent amongst the Norwegian side that shot Brazil in Oslo on Friday. 9 of this team were party to that 4-2 defeat, Ronaldo and Romario amongst them. Recalled tonight, Aldair in defence and Giovanni of Barcelona, the man who's keeping Juninho out of the squad. 6 of that lineup played in the last World Cup final. Mario Zagallo has turned back to the old guard. Referee tonight is Danish, he's Kim Nielsen. The hosts versus the holders, the only two nations not required to prove themselves worthy of a place at next year's World Cup finals. Two teams looking for true competition during the build-up to the finals. Aimé Jacquet is a former coach of Lyon, although he made his name with Bordeaux. Ronaldo, absolutely surrounded. Zidane breaking for France. He's carried the ball a long way here, Zinedine Zidane. And he has a trick to thrill the crowd at the end of it, and a pass for Karambeu. Zidane again, with Barr making the run beyond Roberto Carlos. And Taffarel's handling not the soundest.
Yeah, I think that's something to look for already, the pace of Ibrahim Barr. Easily identifiable, screams past the Roberto Carlos.
Dunga. Cilio Silva. Mauro Silva. And now Aldair. Forward towards Romario, who has surrounded Ronaldo, had come short for a ball played to feet. Condela, rather wasteful to his opposite number, Cafu. Now Giovanni. And Cafu. Ronaldo is up. Cut back cleverly into the path of Leonardo. And now Romario. Oh, he dwelt on the ball. He could have played Ronaldo in. Unlike Romario to be indecisive inside the penalty area. It was a beautiful move. But France have a chance to counter now. Pires going down. Caught by Cafu. The referee didn't see anything untoward. Giovanni. Ronaldo letting it run for Romario, who lost it into the path of Ronaldo. Oh, that's a brilliant move. And it needed a fine save from Barthez. Spellbinding link-up between the two Brazilian frontmen.
Yeah, brilliant interplay between the two of them. Great understanding. Good shot on the run. Fine stop.
That's whetted the appetite for more of the R&R combination, Ronaldo and Romario. But the corner kick swung out of play from Roberto Carlos, and it will now be a French goal kick.
I don't think I can ever remember seeing two fullbacks as pushed on. Normally you say, all right, if you play with three central defenders and a wing-back, you play with wing-backs, that's fine. But these two are playing like out-and-out. Cafu and Roberto Carlos are playing like out-and-out old-fashioned wingers. I don't know if that's anything at all to do with the fact Zagallo was saying today that they won the World Cup in '94, but perhaps not with the beauty that people associate with Brazil. And he was in charge, wasn't he, when they had probably the best ever national team.
Dunga taking a chance too many. Deschamps has somehow found Zidane, and here's Ibrahim Bar. He hit it straight at Tafarel, who survived.
But that's the danger I think they're going to have, Brazil. Because the fullbacks are pushed so high on, there's an awful lot of space if Pires and Ibrahim Bar are brave enough and bold enough to not go back with them.
Good play by Romario, and good covering by Karambeur. It was a good chance, though, for Bar.
Oh, yes, should have scored.
And he didn't really show any craft in his finish.
Oh, but I think his game basically is about all-out pace, real, genuine pace.
Giovanni is over the head of Romario and too far in front of Roberto Carlos, and Condolar has found Ibrahim Bar with a fine pass. Mauro Silva covering his fullback.
You know, I think if I was Amy Jacquet, I would turn around to Bar. Here's the chance now. It's at a steep angle, you know, should have gone across the goal to be fair to him. But I think if I was him, I'd say to the French wide players, just stay up the field. Just stay up the field, because they're always... Roberto Carlos and Cafu are always going to be running onto French defenders anyway.
Cornela. Kept in towards Zidane. Here's Ibrahim Bar. And now Cornela. He's found a way back to Bar by Giovanni, who managed to get in a challenge of sorts, and Aldair managed to get in the clearance.
I think Karambo's looking to come off here. I think he's desperately is coming off, actually.
Christian Karambeur, who seemed to turn his ankle when he landed awkwardly a moment or two ago. Leonardo. Instant control from Romario, and Ronaldo was just offside. Christian Karambeur's unfortunate early injury means a chance to see a familiar face. Arsenal's Patrick Vieira takes the field with just 14 minutes played. It'll be his third international for France. He has played in the last two. And top-level games they were, two against Holland and Sweden. Zidane. Bar. Into Desailly. It was a little, to Vieira, I should say, a little tight. Zidane now into Deschamps, and that was a rather clumsy pass, really. Ronaldo couldn't run between Blanc and Vieira, but he has won a free kick.
Clever that for a 20-year-old, he knew if he went between them, it was a certainty he was going to get a free kick. Vieira just converging back there as well.
And now Romario has won a free kick in a more central position. A little less convincingly, it has to be said.
Well, I was just going to say there was a time when Dunga would have refused to let anyone have a crack at these apart from himself. But Roberto Carlos can tonk him, can't he?
Looks like he's going to have a shot, doesn't he? I've never seen anybody place a ball with quite such precision. And look at the run-up. Michael Holding, eat your heart out. It's Roberto Carlos. Oh! Pick that out. The goalkeeper Barthez didn't even know it had happened. What a fantastic free kick from Roberto Carlos. Well, they say Zagallo is turning back the clock to the great Brazilian days of the past, and they've got a free kick merchant to match anything from the great Brazilian days of the past.
Well, that's unbelievable. He's hit that with the most fantastic amount of slice and swerve. A little bit of luck at the end when he clips off the post, but he's entitled. That's going a mile wide. He's got that much, if you like, much cut on the ball. That is a phenomenal. That might be as good a free kick as you've ever seen, you know.
He was hitting the corner flag at one stage, wasn't
he's put that
and then he changed his mind.
He's put that much dip and bend and swerve and chip on it. Oh, that's unbelievable.
Roberto Carlos of Real Madrid, who emerged really during the Umbro Trophy tournament in England 2 years ago, has treated us to a free kick to remember the entire tournament by, never mind tonight's match. That was wonderful.
You said he's turned the clock back, Zagallo. He's only turned it back really as far as Branco, hasn't he? That was a Branco trademark. And yet I've never seen Claudio do that as well as that. That was phenomenal.
Most of the free kicks I saw Branco take finished in the next state. Anyway, here's Bar in towards Maurice. French are a little bit stunned. Celio Silva with a very robust challenge. Desai. A little long for Condola, who did well to control it on the chest, but Romario was there. Zidane. Lizarazu ran away from Pires to Giovanni. Dunga has found Cafu. Got beyond Lizarazu. Cafu's cross charged down by Desai. He's done well though to find some space, and here's Ronaldo! What a really good save that was by Barthez. Exhilarating action again from Brazil. Really exciting striking goal from Ronaldo.
Well, it's a great ball in from Cafu, easily playing like a natural right wing, and that's as hard a ball as there is to hit, the one coming across a striker. Ronaldo, perfect timing, another good save by Barthez.
He'll be 21 in September, Ronaldo. He's still a boy. Leonardo with the corner, and Barthez completes an excellent piece of work by catching it cleanly. Good save. Maurice with a little touch towards Ibrahim Bar. He seems to have switched flanks with Pires for now. Giovanni. Oh, fantastic control on the chest. He's won himself a free kick for the handball.
I wonder if this was a World Cup whether Zagallo would be brave enough to play this way. I mean, he's got some magnificent creative attacking players, but I just wonder whether any manager would be prepared to just leave two at the back.
One of the two is Aldair with the clearance.
Who incidentally has a pair. Oh, that's a bad slipper.
Condola's mistake. This is Romario going for the chip. Well, quite a way off target in actual fact.
The funny thing is you almost feel cheated when a player of his standard doesn't score from there, don't you? Particularly after what's gone on earlier.
Desai, Deschamps. Zidane. Pires coming inside again. Desailly. Now Zidane. Crossed in towards Maurice, who wanted to let it run when really he had a chance to strike himself. He probably wouldn't know that Aldair was slipping behind him, but he had stolen a yard on the defender. Ronaldo now on the counter, only Romario with him for the moment. Giovanni is arriving. This is Giovanni. And a free kick to Brazil.
I think he could have let an advantage go there. I think Giovanni had done enough. He'd beaten Vieira. He cut inside, and I think Giovanni would have preferred not to have had the free kick. Although I think Roberto Carlos might do.
Desailly was the man penalised. Roberto Carlos is certainly a candidate. Barthez was asking for 15 in the wall, I think. All stood one on top of another, I think.
4 on the line.
Any volunteers for a free kick wall against Brazil? Which side does he stand? Seven is Giovanni, Leonardo just beyond him, hands on hips, and then on the right of the picture, Roberto Carlos. It's Cilio Silva. Not too much panache about that, but a fair amount of power. Maurice. Mauro Silva is there again. Vieira. Condela. Bar to Vieira. That's nicely hooked in, and Pires turned quite quickly there, and they can all play. Even the goalkeeper, Taffarel, from a very sharp back pass. A little bit of ball jugglery, just to show the lads in front of him that he's quite capable, if any of them start to slack off, coming forward and filling in for them.
Yeah, it's not a problem to him, this, is it? I mean, that's it. Trust your goalkeeper. 1, 2, little flick.
First touch wasn't the best, actually, was it?
I thought he might have caught that on his neck. He'd been a real player, and he caught it on his neck.
Stoppage time at the end of the first half, Ron. Glad you came?
Oh, very much so. Always glad to watch the Brazilians play, but disappointed in the French at the moment.
Well, we've had one wonderful moment to remember the half by a sensational free kick by Roberto Carlos after 21 minutes. But that has been embroidered by some beautiful moments of Brazilian skill, and they really deserve their 1-0 advantage at half-time in Lyon. To Brazil at half-time in Lyon. Memorable one it was too, but in the absence of any great French inspiration, coach Amy Jacquet has made a change, introducing the Karlsruhe forward, Marc Keller, number 21, in place of Robert Pires. And there is Keller, but immediately another problem for Jacquet because Florian Maurice is now down injured.
That's that side of the Brazilian game that people don't appreciate, their determination to win the ball when they lose possession. Cafu certainly left his trademark there.
Cafu long towards Romario, cut out by Blanc. Now Bar. That's a real race between Bar and Roberto Carlos. Aldair has been penalised. 2 speed merchants in direct opposition on that flank. The result is a free kick for which Laurent Blanc has come forward. There is Blanc. Taffarel couldn't hold it. That's got to be a back pass, isn't it? An indirect free kick.
About a yard out, isn't it? They really did ask the goalkeeper some questions there, didn't they? Well-flighted ball. Laurent Blanc comes right round the back of it now. He hits for goal. Good save by Taffarel, can't quite hang on to it. And Dunga, of all people, the captain, to be fair, the position, he couldn't really have got it back to the goalkeeper's feet here. Keeper's sort of head forward.
The free kick is going to be on the edge of the 6-yard box. Not the sort of thing you practice in training very much. Deschamps and Desailly standing over the ball. Zidane standing by the penalty spot, looks the favourite.
How the referee's going to stop these as soon as he blows his whistle, heaven only knows. I don't think he's got a cat in hell's chance of stopping that wall breaking out.
There's a yellow card for somebody on the end of the wall, maybe Cafu. They've had plenty of time to think about it, to see if they've got anything out of the ordinary or whether Zidane is just going to have a blast. Deschamps, Zidane, oh, blocked by Cafu on the line, and it's a corner kick.
I don't think he knew too much about that one. The ball's just ricocheted off his ankles there.
They never seem to score from those free kicks, do they?
Well, I see Alan Shearer score one a few weeks ago in an international for England, but we'll forget that one for now.
Zidane with a corner kick. Taffarel has failed to hold on to that one either. Mauro Silva has got it clear. Played back in by Zidane. That's a good ball too. Important header by Cirio Silva. And Brazil seem to have survived that little crisis, or have they? Mauro Silva rather unusually giving the ball away. Zidane was very quickly tackled by Dunga, and there were some afters between those two. Here comes the cavalry charge, and the one man who stayed home, Cafu, was the man who made the block. He actually turned his back on a little bit, hadn't he? Zidane, Keller. Wasn't a bad cross either towards Maurice. Turned back in by Deschamps. Good defending though by Aldair. Deschamps. Now Bar. Oh, he was aware that Vieira had gone beyond him. Instead it's into Maurice. Now Vieira. Now Deschamps. Lofted into Keller. Good header down. Zidane. Well, that was better from France.
Yeah, that's probably their best sustained spell since the game started. Some good play. Keller looks to have given them a lot more of a balance. I mean, he's just dug a left-footed cross out there, and perhaps that might help them a little bit. They do seem to have a little bit more balance in their team lineup now.
Won by Mauro Silva again. Dunga to Romario. Couldn't quite squeeze the ball past Blanc towards Ronaldo. Keller. Deschamps. Lizarazu. Zidane. Good approach play again. Lizarazu in towards Keller, but he was just offside. Deschamps. Vieira a little short, but he did well to resist the challenge of Ronaldo. Zidane. Bar. Cross was deflected. Here's Maurice. Didn't really get hold of it. Might do second time. Chance here for Keller, and it's 1-1. The substitute Marc Keller has equalised for France. Taffarel unable to cut out the shot from Florian Maurice. And Keller has snapped up an equaliser for the host nation. It's his first goal for his country.
If he does well, Ibrahim Ba does well. He persists, gets in, not the best of crosses. You thought then Maurice may have missed his chance. He's first to recover, fires a ball in, not for the first time tonight. Taffarel spills it, and Keller's got well into a box. He's got well in the box there. This is the first chance you think he's missed it, completely mistimed it, but by doing that he's thrown the defenders all over the place. How he smashed one, really, Taffarel being harsh on him, he really should have held on to that one.
Lizarazu. Maurice on towards Lizarazu again. Cafu charged him from the back, and the referee says goal kick. I don't think he dived.
Well, whether he dived or not, I thought it was an irresponsible challenge. I mean, he's challenging from the outside. The little give and go's played against him. I think technically he didn't foul him, but I tell you what, I would think 7 out of 10 referees would have given a penalty there.
There's going to be a change here with Desai making way for the Parma defender, Lilian Thuram. Desai has said he's staying with Milan despite some interest from England. Thuram, who will be staying with Parma, who've now qualified for the Champions League as runners-up in Italy. Ronaldo. It's another fantastic run into Romario, couldn't quite get it back to his partner in crime, Giovanni. Now Romario. Oof! What a challenge that was. Condola flying in. Yellow card, at least, I would have thought. Dunga got hold of that. Good save by Barthez. Dunga's shot hit powerfully. And there are a few players between Dunga and the keeper.
Yeah, it's a good shot. I mean, that's what we remember Dunga when he first burst on the scene, was for searing shots from distances. That one's got a little loop on it from a design.
Aldair. Romario. Found Ronaldo that time. Here's Ronaldo with Romario free to his right. Wasn't quite the pass he wanted, drove him a little wider. Jalminia arriving on the scene. Little flourish of skill, little quite wrong foot, Condola. Leonardo to Roberto Carlos, and now Dunga, who was outnumbered and eventually fouled. I was going to say this isn't Roberto Carlos territory, but really anything within a couple of miles of the ground is within Roberto Carlos territory, the way he strikes free kicks. There's going to be a substitution. Romario is going to be replaced by the fair-haired youngster Paulo Nunes, who will get his first cap for Brazil tonight. Perhaps the jury's out on what we've seen of this version of Romario this evening. Paulo Nunes, who plays for Grêmio. It's Jalminia. And Barthez, rather like a nervous tail ender on the back foot against a quick bowler, managed to get his body behind it. Block into the path of Lizarazu. Maurice. Retain possession well there. This is Deschamps.
Well, they've looked a different team completely this half. And I suppose you've got to give the manager credit for his substitution.
Keller into the path of Zidane, just slipped as he tried to put it back.
Not quite sure then whether Zidane was... He looked as if he was in two minds, whether to sort of play one half across the face of the goal or whether to go for the far post. Lovely through ball from Keller. Great joining run from Zidane. As you say, his back foot's given away from him just as he made contact. But certainly a far, far better performance in the second half. They played with a lot of urgency. They played with a lot of drive. And at the moment, they deserve to be all square.
Aldair with a very risky pass has picked up Vieira, and here's Ibrahim Bar. He just couldn't quite cotton on to the Arsenal man's header. Dunga giving it away now. Deschamps to Keller, brought down by Cafu. Play on, says the referee.
I thought it was a good tackle there, Clive.
Jalminia. Well, he tried to play the pass there with the outside of the foot. It was a very straightforward pass for Roberto Carlos on for him. There's the chance which came and disappeared as in the blink of an eye, really, for Bar. Attitude of that challenge.
He's every right to Ibrahim Bar to look like that. It was nothing more blatant. No way he was going to run past Aldair there.
No, it's not Emerson. It's the Botafogo central defender, Gonçalves. And he's going to replace Aldair. Very unusual for a Brazilian. He had to wait until the age of 30 for his first cap. He's 31 now. And he has been a regular this season, Gonçalves, in the Brazilian lineup. He was actually linked with a move to Nottingham Forest last season. Vieira. Almost played Blanc into trouble. That's well played by Maurice, who's had a plucky game up front. And now Keller, played in by Zidane, and expected Zinedine Zidane to go on for the return. Jalminia turning into trouble. Keller. Useful cross towards Bar. Gonçalves got his head to the ball. Chance here for Maurice. Well, he was billed as the natural goal scorer that France have been looking for. He's done so much work tonight in the French cause, and when that great chance came along with 90 seconds left on the clock, he muffed it. Dunga. Paulo Nunes. It wasn't the best of passes for Jalminia, but it's run for Dunga. Nice disguise on that. Leonardo into the path of Cafu. Barthez in trouble. But nothing he couldn't deal with at the second time of asking at the feet of Ronaldo. Looked good tonight, Barthez. He's playing principally because Bernard Lamar is serving a suspension for cannabis use. Ironically, at the start of last year, Barthez served a 2-month suspension for cannabis use. Seems to be the thing to do amongst French goalkeepers. Mauro Silva. Ronaldo. Brought down by Deschamps. The game always picks up a gear when the ball's at his feet. Roberto Carlos again. Deflected. And that's the last action. Well, he's given us something we'll never forget from this night in Lyon. A truly special free kick at a time when Brazil were controlling the game like the Harlem Globetrotters used to control their basketball exhibition matches. But a change of personnel at half-time brought a new spirit for France, and the new man, Marc Keller, scored an equalising goal, and France deserved a share of the spoils on the night. In Lyon, the opening match of Tournoi de France has finished. France won, Brazil won. After the break, more from the England camp and more analysis with Bob and John.
Saxo VTS is a Saxo, but with a bit of the devil inside it.
I mean, I was so surprised. £25.
Your building society are going to charge you £25?
Yeah, to cancel my buildings insurance, they're going to charge me £25.
I hope you haven't paid it yet.
I suppose it's my fault. It was in the small print, so what else can I do?
Well, I'll tell you what you could do. You could let us pay it.
What? Oh, wait a minute, hang on. And I could still save 30% on my premium as well for the same cover.
Absolutely.
If your mortgage provider charges you £25 to move your building's insurance to Direct Line, we'll refund it.
Bye.
They're even paying the £25.
For home insurance, better go direct to Direct Line on 0121 236 8877.
On Delta's new business class, we know how to treat you like an individual. That's why we fly more individuals worldwide than any other airline. Delta Airlines, on top of the world.
Labatt Ice is super chilled to -4 during brewing to give it a clean, crisp taste. As it is unlike other beers, some people are worried. This man bought a Labatt Ice, yet he's afraid to drink it. Among friends and in a warm place, he's okay. If you have no friends, our advice, ask a neighbor to keep you warm while you drink. If you have no neighbors, why not write a letter and address it yourself? And when the postman arrives, hug. If you're still worried, call us on this hotline. Labatt Ice, technically the coolest beer in the world.
I see a lot of celebrities among us. I see 11 primetime lives and 1 Regis and Kathy Lee interviewee.
The good.
Who's that guy?
He's just a parolee. The fed.
What happened? We caught the plane, man!
And the ugly.
Welcome to Con Air.
Invite you to sit back.
Isn't that your car?
What are you gonna do? I'm gonna sit down.
Relax. Woo! And enjoy the flight.
Buckle up.
Con Air.
36 classic club tracks. It's got to be the best club anthems ever.
Welcome back. So, France and Brazil have drawn 1-1 in the opening game of Le Tournoi. Definitely a game of two halves, as the old saying goes. Wasn't it, John, really? The first half Brazil produced and promised so much of what we've come to expect of them.
Yeah, they were excellent in the first half. I think they ran out of steam slightly in the second half, particularly Dunga and Mauro Silva. But also, France came out with a very positive attitude in the second half and pressed them high up the park, didn't allow them any time to settle, and played very well in the second half. France.
We couldn't have had a more sensational start and goal.
No, Roberto Carlos, I've seen him play for Real Madrid, and sometimes he's hit the corner flags in the stands, but this was perfect. No keeper in the world could have saved that. You can criticise the wall all you like, you can see the swerve on it. In fact, that was heading towards the stand, actually.
It is astonishing swerve and dip on it, isn't it, John? We can actually look at it a little bit closer and consider distances and pace of the ball and that sort of thing.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a Curtly Ambrose run up towards the ball.
Almost 9 yards.
It looks a little bit longer than 9 yards to be, but I'll believe the computer. Unbelievable run up, but the strike is just sensational.
35 yards nearly, John, that is.
Yeah, 33, 39 miles an hour. Unbelievable. If you can have a little look here, you see it starts way outside the post, and in fact the ball boy actually thinks it's going to come his way, and you can see him just turning away.
That's incredible.
The dip and swerve on that ball was sensational, but as I said, it's one of those where, you know, Brazil, they've had a Rivellino, had a Branco, and now they've got Roberto Carlos.
Yeah, wonderful. You were talking to me before the game about the Brazilians, about their work rate, that they work harder than people think. You were talking about the fullback role of people like Cafu, and he showed up particularly in the first half.
Cafu had an excellent game in the first half as a right winger virtually. His cross sometimes let him down, as that one did, but he showed a marvellous piece of skill here. send Desai the wrong way. And,
typical Brazilian.
And this was a great strike by Ronaldo. Great strike. It wasn't exactly a half volley, so it's hard to keep it down, but he got a good strike on it. And here you can see he still wants to get forward. You know, they've given license to go forward, and, you know, in many respects, when they lose the ball, he doesn't even have to get back.
Yeah, the 1-2 was Cafu and Dunga there,
yeah,
wasn't
and the
it?
important person here now is Dunga. As you can see, as the play develops, you can see Dunga filling into a right-back position, and Mauro Silva similarly on the left. But as you can see, Cafu isn't even back in the picture yet. He can virtually stay up there. But Dunga and Mauro Silva are very important in terms of staying in the right-back position.
And there he is.
And there he is. And you can see him here again, in fact. You get 3 or 4 Brazilians around the ball.
Just swarming, hunting in packs, John, aren't they?
Yeah, and obviously France, they have to have a spare man somewhere, but if you can make him keep his head down and get people around the ball, he's not going to be able to pick out the man.
Yeah, there's no way through. That's wonderful defending.
The second half, that wasn't happening.
No.
The second half, Dunga and Mauro Silva didn't go over to help the fullbacks, and France became much more progressive.
Yeah. Let's just stick with the traditional skills of the Brazilians. I mean, they're my favourite team, the 1970 team. There were skills throughout this first half, weren't there?
This was, in the first 2 minutes, a great ball by Ronaldo to Romario. The link-up of these two, we talk about Cher and Sheringham. Ronaldo and Romario have to be up there amongst the one of the best partnerships in the world.
This is the return.
And this was the return ball. Great ball by Romario. And a good strike by Ronaldo and a good save. I think that Romario is the one who's looking to put in Ronaldo more often than not.
This is so simple. Looks so simple, this.
That is Ronaldo's strength, his pace and his willingness to get forward.
He just changed his body position,
Well,
John,
when the ball got played up to him, normally a forward will take it with his back to goal, but here he just shifted his body and allowed the ball to run through, and once he gets on the move,
and here's our man Cafu again.
Cafu and Roberto Carlos. Cafu, more often than not, was very progressive. This is the first half where, you know, these are the Brazilian tricks and the skills that we all get used to, but we can't detract from their effort and work rate in the first half, I have to add.
I have a little bit of work with David Seaman. I don't think I'll be encouraging this, John.
No, this is not as flamboyant as Higuita, and I don't think Maria Zagallo would be too happy with that. But
you mentioned, you did actually mention a little bit earlier that they weren't doing certain things in the second half. Aimé Jacquet, the French coach, changed things. They were pressing altogether in a different way.
Yeah, in the first half, Dunga and Mauro Silva really ran the show from midfield, but here they didn't give them any time to settle. And Dunga, I've never seen Dunga give the ball away so often, and Mauro Silva, as they did in the second half. And they got their just desserts from it. They got in good crossing positions, very progressive, and, you know, at the end of the day, you can say a draw is a fair result, but the second half, France were impressive.
Yeah, you said just desserts. You're talking about Keller's goal.
Yeah, it was as you can see, Brazil did well here in getting people over there. It got a slight deflection, the cross, and Maurice had a wild swing. I think Ron is a bit harsh on the goalkeeper here, because I thought it'll be difficult for him to really hold on to that ball.
He was at full strength, stretch, wasn't he? Full stretch.
As well as being at full stretch, if you look, you also see that it actually goes through Aldair's legs. And as you know, as a goalkeeper, if it comes through the legs, you know, you probably see it late. The defender could have been Cafu, should have probably been, he was the wrong side of Keller there. But, you know, I think it's a bit harsh on the goalkeeper.
Yeah. OK, thanks for the moment. Well, let's let's look ahead to tomorrow evening's game between England and Italy. Gary Newbon has been talking with two key men, both the subject of transfer speculation.
Result in Poland has done as far as the team's concerned and the reaction back home?
I think first and foremost it was a great performance. It was a professional performance that we had to put out. We knew that. It was going to be a very difficult game. And we came through with flying colours, every one of us, I feel.
I always felt before the Poland game, it was a divided nation. I always felt that half didn't believe that we could really go to Poland, or not even just go to Poland, but go to and qualify for the World Cups, especially after the Italian game. And the Boscan has always been saying, you know, we're going to go to the World Cup finals, and but we never had that feeling from the whole nation. I think after the Poland game, you know, the response from everybody, and everybody now believes that we can go to Italy and win and qualify for the World Cups.
When you're winning games, you can't see yourself losing, but when you're losing, you can't see yourself winning. So we're feeling good at the moment. We won the other day. We're feeling good. We don't know what the team is obviously yet, but we're feeling good that we can go out and put on another good performance against Italy.
I don't think both sides will play the full side. I think the boss has said that he wants to try different things. He wants to try different players in different positions. Whether it's tomorrow or whether it's Saturday, you know, we don't know. But there would be no bearing if we win tomorrow, if we lose tomorrow in the game in October. Absolutely no.
It's a game that once you put the England shirt on again, you'll want to win. But when the real action starts in Rome, I think this will be forgotten. And we'll know that we got beat 1-0 at Wembley and it's a game that we'll have to turn around.
People come around and tell me I'm a better player because I played in Italy. It's only good. Obviously, I feel better. I can pass the ball a lot better than I used to. Now, my awareness is probably a bit better than it was. And obviously, you're going to learn those kind of things. But I don't really see it myself. You know, if someone watch me a tape, give me a tape of me playing against Poland, I won't really see it. It's only you guys and the press people who see those kind of things. But it's nice to know that's it for my game.
Where will we see next season? Have you made up your mind yet?
Not yet. As I said, I just want to get this tournament out of the way, go on holiday with my family, and then take it from there.
Now, you've created today's news story in football back home by putting in for a transfer request. What's all that about?
Well, I've been thinking about it for a long time now, and I just came to the decision towards the end of the season that I'd like a fresh challenge, and I put in the transfer request on Monday morning just after the Poland game. I felt that was the right time to be doing that, and hopefully it would be granted.
And indeed, the early signs indicate that Teddy Sheringham will be moving on. John, Liverpool could well be in there, couldn't they?
I think there are going to be a lot of clubs in. You know, he's a quality player, and he would enhance any team.
Would you include Newcastle in that? The fact that he might be able to team up with Alan Shearer, obviously?
Yeah, but I mean, Newcastle, you have to look at it from the team perspective. They don't play the way England play, but of course, as a partnership, Shearer and Sheringham are the #1 partnership for England, so why not for Newcastle?
Let's look ahead to that game tomorrow evening, England-Italy. Italy are saying that they're going to feel their full strength side, but how do you approach it? Do you think that's kidology? I mean, is it psychological warfare?
I think so. I think so. I mean, although Paul has said there, and rightly so, that nothing really rides on this game, you know, the England defeat at Wembley will...
Yeah, he said there's no bearing at all on October the 11th.
No bearing on it, but there would be a slight psychological advantage if England can go and get a good result there to know that we can actually beat the Italians.
Yeah.
So I think there's more riding on it than people make out.
What sort of experimentation would you anticipate Glenn Hoddle might have?
Well, depending on who's fit, he may play, try to Wright and Sheringham. I don't think he'll play Sheringham and Shearer. You know, and he could maybe even give David Beckham a central midfield role with Gascoigne being injured. You know, there are a few permutations, but I think that...
Although we saw Gascoigne training a little bit there.
We saw Gaz at training, but we don't know whether he's going to actually play tomorrow. He'll probably be fitter later on in the week. But there are a few permutations. I don't think he'll tinker with the squad, the team, as much as he's making out.
No. All right, John, well, we're certainly looking forward to it, aren't we, tomorrow evening? And we hope you'll join us then for highlights of that game, Italy versus England. 10:40 tomorrow evening. It's here on ITV Sport. Well, our thanks to John on an entertaining opening evening of Le Tournoi, which will be remembered, I guess, for a good old-fashioned Brazilian free kick. Bye for now.
Tonight's international football on ITV was in association with Lloyds Bank. International football on ITV.